Harvey Milk is best known for his work in civil and human rights. He was an advocate for equality, not just for the LGBT community, but for any minority. He dreamed for a better tomorrow. Harvey Milk's name was known throughout the streets of San Francisco as he grew to become a public figure. It was then that he got the nickname Mayor of the Castro Street. In 1972, Harvey moved to San Francisco, where he lived in the Castro district. He opened up a camera shop, which quickly became a neighborhood center for the entire community. Its front windows turned into a bulletin board covered with announcements of upcoming civil rights demonstrations, protests, meetings, and events. Harvey was more than just a politician. He was the first openly gay man in the nation elected to a major public office. He changed society's views of anyone who may be different. Today, Milk is honored and appreciated for standing up for justice and equality. He led by example and showed people the true meaning of hope by fighting against discrimination.
Life took a totally different course because of my relationship or friendship with Harvey. He called me out of the blue one day and asked me to come into the shop and talk to him. My friend Ken had given him my name and said, and somebody who might help on your campaign. And I think that just that one incident because I was working full-time, I was young, but it changed the course of my life. I mean, I think about what if I'd said no. Harvey was the kind of person that everyone wanted to have like them. You know, people like that are just so dynamic, and he was funny. He had this great sense of humor. He could be very volatile. I mean, when he got behind something or believed in something, he'd be loud and vociferous or if he got angry. One of the first things he said to me when I came to work with him was, "Ann, I yell a lot. And so you have to yell back at me." And you can see I'm not a yeller. You want to make it, you have to learn to yell back, because that's how I vent. That's how I get stuff out. So boy, I learned to yell back at him.
In November of 1977, Harvey Milk won a seat on San Francisco's Board of Supervisors. Milk had campaigned unsuccessfully for the supervisor position in 1973 and 1975, before winning 2 years later in 1977 to the district that represented Haight and Ashbury and Upper Market Street areas.
There's a man standing to my right, the first gay supervisor elected in San Francisco. His name is Harvey Milk.
Milk's groundbreaking election in 1977, as one of the world's first openly gay elected officials, symbolized hope, freedom, and change.
Firmly believed that everyone should be equal, and he used to say that if he could get all minorities, whatever that is, together to be supportive, they'd no longer be the minority, they'd be the majority.
You could hear where he was coming from. He was coming from people positions. He wasn't only for gay rights. He was for gay rights because that is a minority. We used to make fun of him because he would talk about, the little kid in Altoona, Pennsylvania who called him and said, "Harvey, or Mr. Milk, I don't know what to do. I think I'm gay and I'm not, I can't come out." And Harvey spoke about hope, and that, you needed to be true to yourself, and that there was a place in this world for everyone. That was a really horrible period of time for us, because when Senator Briggs put forward that initiative, the initial polling all said it was going to pass.
Proposition 6 would have banned gays and lesbians from working in California's public schools. It appeared in the 1978 statewide ballot, where it was in fact defeated. Prop 6 was strongly supported by Senator John Briggs, which is why it may also be known as the Briggs Initiative. Roughly 42% of Californians voted yes on Prop 6, while 58% voted no.
When you think about it now, it's like, how could that ever have happened? But as I said, when it first came out, you know, it really looked like it had a chance of passing, and Harvey took it obviously very seriously. He was a member of the Board of Supervisors, and he put together a committee, and he and Sally Gerhardt traveled up and down the state of California, basically campaigning against the Briggs Initiative and debating Senator Briggs whenever they could. Harvey did a brilliant job in his debates.
Determined before school age, that is every scientific study, and I say it is not a choice. It is not a choice. That's the most fundamental mistake in Senator Briggs' opinion.
Children learn by example. Children emulate. People need heroes. I said at the opening of the show.
But Harvey was successful. I mean, he wore himself ragged during that time because he never stopped. He was just, I think it's because of Harvey and Sally and their you know, very prevalent appearance throughout the state that it turned people around. I guess when people talk about him and they have him up on such a pedestal, one of the main things I say is he was so human. You know, he had all the same warts and flaws that each and every one of us does. So it's not like he was perfect in any way, but he was just a wonderful, passionate, intelligent man.
I feel people learn from Harvey, and that people continue to learn from Harvey. If you are within the queer community, to be out with who you are and open about it, because only good can come from that.
As president of the Board of Supervisors, it's my duty to make this announcement. Both Mayor Moscone and Supervisor Harvey Milk have been shot and killed.
Knowing that I could be assassinated at any moment or any time, I feel it's important that some people know my thoughts. I stood for more than just a candidate. I have never considered myself a candidate. I have always considered myself part of a movement, part of a candidacy. I wish I had time to explain everything I did. Almost everything was done in the eyes of the gay movement.
I think it was to be honest with who you are and who you love in all forms of life, including politics, including your workplace.
I think his biggest legacy was hope, giving people hope. He talked about it all the time.
Our journey is not complete until our gay brothers and sisters are treated like anyone else under the law. For if we are truly created equal, then surely the love we commit to one another must be equal as well.
Since 2004, 10 states and Washington, D.C. have legalized gay marriage. Lawrence and Garner were charged under Texas law for having sexual relations with someone of the same sex. They challenged the statute as a violation of the 14th Amendment. The Employment Non-Discrimination Act, ENDA, would provide basic protection against workplace discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation.
Thousands and thousands like that child know that there's hope for a better world. There's hope for a better tomorrow. Without hope, they're only gays, but those blacks, the Asians, the disabled, the seniors, the us's, without hope, the us's give up. I know that you cannot live on hope alone, but without it, life is not worth living. And you got to give them hope. Thank you.